Alright, have to do a post-league commentary over this one because actually I started off not recording this one, but actually based in part on how this game goes, I decided I kind of decided to record the rest just because things actually felt like they were running pretty smoothly. I'm not going to give any spoilers as to how this plays out, but I just will say that I think I was impressed enough with how the deck performed in this match that I was like, yeah, you know what, I'll start recording it. So anyway, so that means that this first game I did not record the audio, but I felt and also one thing I didn't notice is the opponent apparently has 61 cards. I think actually I remember this player before. I think I was like 61 cards, yay. Anyway, so let's see how this one played out. Now, how do I do this again to go little by little? I think we just do next turn, I guess, or next step. All right, so let's okay. Obviously, Obosh to hand. Let's see. I think this will fast forward. Yeah, okay, so this is how we do frame by frame. Okay. Alright, so I obviously kept this hand. We're playing the Bomat Courier version, so playing out Bomat Courier, just trying to get the early beats in while also possibly generating card advantage. Yeah, and definitely lighting up the stage is pretty welcome here. So, and we do that. I think I just Firebolt here. Yeah, that may be unadvisable because we don't know if the opponent's playing like a what do you call it? Stoneforge Mystic deck. But I remember reasoning, I think that I had Flame Slash. I mean, of course, if they had Force Negation, good to have too. And I think I remember what happens here. Actually, I think the opponent gets mana screwed. So really not much to say. Yeah, so I cycle. Originally, I was also planning to just play the Seasoned Pyromancer and ditch a couple lands to try to get more action. But when I saw the Bomat, I'm just like, I'll just cycle and yeah, all right, and obviously things are developing pretty good for us. Things are developing pretty poorly for the opponent. So what can you do? Yeah, the opponent draws another land, but definitely they're behind on that one. So we play this just in case we draw like a Prowess creature. We did, but if it was a Swiftspear, we could attack. And the reason why we played that out ahead of time was because yeah, if they have a card to destroy Bomat Courier, which here they don't have a way to destroy it, but they do have a blocker. We definitely didn't want that stuck in our hand if we had to discard our hand, and that comes quite in handy because we do in fact want to discard our hand here. Very good 2 cards to rip off the top, if I do say so myself. Sometimes we rip just lands, and that's unfortunate. The opponent continues to not draw lands. What can you do? In retrospect, I remember thinking maybe I should crack the Fiery Islet first. But you know what? It's okay to shut off the Islet, and then the opponent just throws in the towel because they just fell way too far behind, not drawing enough lands. So it goes. All right, I probably have to splice the other video together. So let's see. All right, match 1, post-league commentary. I guess post-match, technically post-league commentary as well. And let's go over this one. Obviously, we designate Obosh as our companion. Can't really complain about this hand. I think I even said to myself, actually, I don't know. Anyway, I do think I purposely wasn't recording, but I kind of remember I say a lot of times when I am recording, like, can't complain about this, and that's definitely how I feel here. And they do play Stoneforge Mystic, so our fears in the first game do come to fruition. But with double Firebolt, we feel pretty good that it's unlikely that they have two Force of Negations. And they apparently don't even have one. All right, so we just we play this, eat at the graveyard, we attack. They play a Field of Ruin, and I think we just jam Blood Moon. I mean, considering that we've got 2 of them anyway. But unfortunately here the awkwardness of playing the 3-mana spell that is Blood Moon comes up a bit. We do try to whittle their graveyard, and we do try to jam, I think, another Blood Moon, because, you know, again, it's just better when... Yeah, we're actually feeling pretty good about our chances here with them only on 1 blue mana. You know, yeah, we deal with that. Then I think we just play the Seasoned Pyromancer. You know, I mean, we got a clock going, like, but then they play the Batter Skull that they revealed, and here actually we really regret not bringing in Shattering Sprees, although we didn't know for a fact if they were on a Stoneforge Mystic version. But here, you know, we can flashback Firebolt and deal with that. So, you know, we do. Play another Stoneforge Mystic. They play another Batter Skull. They could have also equipped, but, you know, it is what it is. Yeah, and right here we're actually quite a bit on the back foot, but Obosh does kind of possibly give us some avenue back in. We weren't sure if we were going to block or not. Yeah, so we play Obosh, and we can zap the Stoneforge, but of course they can double equip a Batter Skull, but when they Aether Gust, it's just, nah, it ain't going to happen. Alrighty, so let's go to the final game here. Alright, game 3 in match 1 of the post-match commentary. So let's see how this game 3 goes. Designate Obosh, and hey, I think once again we're like can't complain whether we said it or not. We definitely said it in our mind. Can't complain about this one. Get some Soulscar out there. You know, we can actually play both of these, which is pretty nice, and we do like to play them both out because we are probably going to play the Relic. They play Stoneforge, and now actually we're in a little bit of a trouble. So what we do is actually we play the Seasoned Pyromancer because we're trying to fish for like a 1-mana removal spell, of which we have quite a few. So we ditched the yeah, those 2. We tried to keep one untap land. That's why we ditched the Forgotten Cave. Didn't quite work out, but you know we're like, hey, with a Shattering Spree, we're we still have a path to victory. Let's put it that way. Yeah, we definitely draw a card. Okay, so this is what we do, and in retrospect, actually, this was kind of a mistake, because we actually kind of want them to flash in the Batter Skull and eat a blocker, because the problem is what we don't want them to do is end a turn to put the Batter Skull into play, and then you know play draw go from that point onward, because then we can't actually tag it with the Shattering Spree, because it will constantly they'll constantly have mana to return to their hand. You know, normally that's not an issue because normally we can deal with the Stoneforge. We've got a lot of answers to it, but anyway, so what we do here is we play Soulscar Mage, and like normally this would be correct because this would disincentivize them to try to block with the Batter Skull because you know we could whittle it down and then they could be at a tempo loss. So I actually kind of immediately regretted doing this, but I decided to attack anyway because I mean again we kind of need them to play the Germ Token out. Again, it was a mistake. We wanted to actually incentivize them to do this, and Soulscar disincentivize them. But thankfully, they didn't. Either they didn't think too deeply about this, or you know, or I don't know. For whatever reason, they decided to play right into a possible burn spell, which we didn't have. But it actually turned out better that I guess they thought we were just bluffing. We weren't completely bluffing. It's funny. We were maybe we kind of next leveled them in that we're like okay. They sense we're bluffing because they're like, nah, they don't have a burn spell. But then it's like, aha, we were bluffing. It turns out you did what we wanted you to do, even though we were playing like you didn't want. Even though we were playing like we didn't want you to do that. Or more likely, the opponent just kind of was on autopilot. But we'll see. Anyway, so here we replicate it once. I mean, it's unlikely the opponent can double force negation, and we force them to have double force negation by replicating it twice. We do know they've got 2 Batter Skulls, but at least the Wicked Witch is dead, so to speak, for now. This was a pretty good draw. We do have to get rid of the Stoneforge in case there's another Batter Skull waiting in the wings. You know, this is yeah, we didn't play the land because we didn't want to incentivize them to block the Prowess creatures. We put Obosh in the hand, of course. They play Skycleave, and I think we land Obosh, and this is a very rare game that we can actually land Obosh. In retrospect, it was probably a mistake to do this, but at the same time, we weren't really going to be terribly punished for it, and I wasn't really confident that we were going to draw a burn spell. Yeah, I think this, in retrospect, I think this is correct, but I remember agonizing over this a bit. The main thing is we wanted to clear the path for Bomat Courier next turn, and of course it does trade because Obosh doubles the power, and unless they had Dismember, you know, it's kind of unlikely that they could blow us out there. So they path the Obosh, you know, so it goes. But this does enable us, if I remember correctly, to play Firebolt and Bomat Courier, and obviously getting in there with Bomat as many times as possible is pretty sweet. I think we cycle the Forgotten Cave. Yeah, and we let that happen because we don't want to discard the other Bomat in our hand. They do correctly do that on their draw step, which is I find like a line of play that they don't do all that often. And we play Relic first, and the reason why is because, you know, if they've got a Snapcaster, we want to protect our Bomat, you know, by being able to flashback the Relic. I mean, use the Relic's ability. Alright, so what they do is they do the Shark. And if I remember correctly, I think I cracked the Relic just in case we can draw like an instant speed removal spell. No, actually, we just let it happen. And we're fine with that. Yeah, and then we play this. There is something to be said about maybe just cracking the Relic, but, you know, we want to play a little patient. We're not too terribly worried about this token, and we do have Seasoned of our own to flashback, so there is that. Oh yeah, that's the main reason why we don't crack Relic, actually, is the Seasoned Pyromancer. Now I think we're much more okay to crack the Relic, but I guess we're still playing it patiently. Yeah, we're in no particular hurry, man. And if you think about it, actually, we, you know, nine mountains, and we only have 14 in our deck. It's a little bit, that's a little bit unlucky, but actually, I think we were in a good headspace, which actually helped us win, because I don't remember actually feeling particularly frustrated for some reason. I mean, I guess it's because we do have the initiative, but actually now 10 mountains. Obviously, one of them is actually two of them is because of path. But, you know, still, I mean, we're definitely way above the curve in how many lands we should have by this time, but, you know, so it goes. Yeah, and I think we can play the Light Up the Stage, which is pretty good. They force negation it, so be it. As long as they don't play like a Sharknado or something, you know, I think we're okay. You know, I think long and hard here about cracking Relic, and then just doing it again. I decide not, though, because I'm really worried about two things. I'm worried about Snapcast. Well, I guess actually they have no cards in hand. You see, what I'm worried about here is I'm worried about that Mystic Sanctuarying, playing Mystic Sanctuary, using a fetch land to fetch Mystic Sanctuary and put Timely Reinforcements on top of the library. Yeah, because like they're low enough on life that we really don't want them doing that. So I think for that reason alone, we're fairly we feel fairly good about just being patient. And here I think we just play this out ahead of time. We have 10 lands. We're like, yeah, why are we waiting? But then we reveal another one. So like, well, this one will play on the second main phase, and it kind of ends up being kind of good that we wait, because we do just ditch the Firebolt. I mean, anyway. In case they've got a Supreme Verdict, we wait on playing the haste creatures. Since we got so many lands, we're not terribly punished for not using up our mana right then and there. And then we, you know, play, and then we flashback a Firebolt, and then, you know, either they've got a and this time we do have to play the Soul Scar ahead of time, though, because there's a very good chance that we're going to, yeah. And there's the Snapcaster we were worried about. Now, realistically, here we probably should have cracked the Relic. I mean, we were already attacking. If the opponent did this on beginning of combat step, then I think this was the correct play, to be patient. But considering that they can't really Cryptic Command anymore, and even if they do, they would have to crack and respond some. Well, anyway, but that's not the issue. But the issue is anyway. So it probably was correct to crack the Relic and prevent them from getting the Celestial Purge, and then I guess see what they block. Probably the Bomat, then go face. There's like limited. I mean, even if they had like a path in their hand or something, worst they could do is go for the Swiftspear. Then if they block the Seasoned Pyromancer. Then we have still 3 creatures getting through from Bomat and the 2 tokens, and then we have exactly lethal. So actually, in retrospect, there was no reason for us to have to be this patient, but we decided to be patient. Again, we're just really nervous about untimely reinforcements coming out. So, but actually, the way they play, I think we still end up taking it. Yeah, we still end up taking it because they block the Bomat. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was correct, but then again, the odds of them not having anything in hand were also not particularly strong. I guess there is a possibility they might have had some really bizarre thing like Settle the Wreckage, maybe. You know, I mean, but then if they had Settle the Wreckage, they wouldn't have. They'd tap a little awkward if that was the case. But technically speaking, they could have had Settle the Wreckage. Although they would have actually had to fetch Shock if they did, because this doesn't get a basic planes. All right, so anyway, we misplayed, but you know, it thankfully we weren't punished for it, and it wasn't like a huge misplay. But it is kind of nice though to redo these things, because actually Magic is such a complicated game that even when you think you're playing, you know, basic, close to a perfect game, a lot of times you're not. There's like a lot of opportunities to eke out a little extra percentage points. But, you know, it is what it is. And again, you know, they had 1 card in their hand, so it's actually impossible to say for sure that that was a misplay. But, all right, anyway, cool stuff. Let's see how the rest of the league goes, and glad to have this under the belt. This, you know, I mean, these matches weren't perfect, but there was something about how the games were flowing that I'm just like, all right, I'm going to start recording, and I'm glad I did, because I think the rest of the games are very enjoyable, and I hope you definitely do enjoy them. All right, till next time.